Masquera Seimbra Zimbabwe, welcome to our channels, Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana karike kutanga kukweka nino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, but don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasimbe Zimbabwe takwigirai nala yabuditswa the news works yabuda chitora ichi they spoke to my sources ayo harimu army since they said they are putting a roadblock for Mnangagwa kuti awani kwachitonga beyond 2030. President Mnangagwa is battling to extend his term of office beyond 2028. Second term constitutional limit does not mean but there is an OPF. As President Mnangagwa, they are pushing for ED 2030 campaign, but the military they are pushing for ED 2030 campaign. President Mnangagwa Wakabuda in public that it is going to retire in 2028. Since that it is going to follow the constitution and the news works is the military and the boy force President Mnangagwa is going to retire in 2028. The military source the news works army is very clear on this issue since the president Alfana Useva his second and final term of retire in 2028. The source which is according to military perspective, President Mnangagwa vice Panga Kurana for his second term in the first place, and so 2028 is his last year. He's going to retire in 2028. Achida Singade, the military, is ready to take my steps. Zimbabwe, Newsworks, Abuda, their ex-endo, Ivo, Machiti, hashtag roadblock for Mnangagwa. And his President Mnangagwa battles to extend his term of office beyond his 2028 second term constitutional limit, despite his feeble and ironic public denials. Claim to be a constitutionalist, the stumbling block is the military, the traditional political power broker in Zimbabwean politics. Military sources tell the newsworks Mnangagwa will be blocked from any constitutional changes to extend his stay in office, which his party's NPF is demanding. The army will strongly leverage its institutional and hard power to stop that succession process. The sources say Mnangagwa is locked in an internal power struggle with Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, who helped his ascendancy through a coup in 2017 to control the levers of state stewardship and resources. A military source said today the army is clear on this issue, very, very clear. The president has to serve his constitutional second term and retire in 2028. Let's not forget that he was not supposed to run for a second term in the first place from the military perspective. Although publicly he seems to be in agreement that he will retire in 2028, in political circles he is speaking a different language and giving different signals, encouraging his core supporters to push for a constitutional amendment for him to stay on until 2030. That he has no takers in the security forces beyond a few individuals who agree that for self-interest, even among the public, it is not a popular proposal. Sources have repeatedly insisted Mnangagwa will be blocked by the military, even when he seems to have seized political initiative and to be on the ascendancy amid power consolidation and attention bid. A recent report by local think tank Zimbabwe Democracy Institute says it is abundantly clear that the military has played a decisive role in Zimbabwean politics as ZANU-PF continues to grapple with colossal succession battle. The role of the military in intra-party politics will become apparent in the decisive phase. Although at this moment that role has not been shown overtly due to the political-military nexus, the military will not be an innocent bystander in the processes to select a new leader in ZANU-PF and ultimately of the Republic. It is highly likely that as the military has done before, it will exercise veto power in the election or selection of the ZANU-PF leadership. According to the military, the office of the head of state is a straitjacket whose incumbent must meet certain attributes, particularly possessing military credentials. The same credentials can be said to also apply to the office of ZANU-PF secretary. Thus, the successor to President Mnangagwa is likely to be a military man, not a civilian politician. Whether it will be Vice President Chiwenga or not is a subject of further inquiry, but the likelihood of a military man or military-backed candidate is inevitable and unavoidable and inescapable. As the succession debates continue to unravel amid indications that there is no homogeneity among ZANU-PF civilians, with the party divided between factions, this presents a potentially hazardous scenario. Rigorous research is required to understand the nature of elite contradictions within the military and their mechanizations regarding Mnangagwa's successor, as well as whether the military supports attempts to prolong Mnangagwa's presidency to 2030. Throughout Zimbabwe's history, the military has played a pivotal role in both the establishment and maintenance of political authority due to the communist-like civil-military relations, which necessitate the pervasive presence of the military in civil political processes. Zimbabwe experiences military-dominated civil-military relations. Despite 44 years of independence and civilian control, the military has remained the untimely foundation for the arbiter of power in Zimbabwe. It is highly likely that the military will be the arbiter among the warring factions, as it was during the coup against Mugabe in November 2017. As political authorities in Zimbabwe is highly personalized and militarized, anyone who succeeds Mnangagwa will have to rely on the strength of their links to the military. This is especially true in the party like ZANU-PF, where there is an absence of an institutionalized structure of leadership succession, further intensifying factional fights. Therefore, the military's influence in Zimbabwean politics is both profound and enduring. The future of ZANU-PF and the public will likely continue to be shaped by the military's involvement, necessitating a nuanced understanding of civil-military relations and the unique historical and political context of Zimbabwe. The path to democratic governance in Zimbabwe will require addressing these complex dynamics and ensuring that civilian authority is upheld in accordance with constitutional principles. Those are Buddha Stolen News Ox, Zimbabwe, Pamsoro, Penya since the army is saying President Mnangagwa should retire in 2028. Since saying Pamsoro Penya comment section.